And a little later tonight, the history of a San Francisco neighborhood, preserving its past for future generations. Preserving the history of a San Francisco neighborhood through pictures and memories.
Our mission, I think, is to preserve the oldest history of the Hill, the memories of the people who've lived here the longest.
Take any neighborhood in the Bay Area and there's a story to be told. Preserving that history has become the goal of one group in San Francisco, and that's the focus of tonight's ABC 7 Salute. It's like many neighborhoods in San Francisco, quiet streets lined with quaint Victorians, overlooking a city steeped in history. Potrero Hill began as pasture land for the first Spanish settlers.
Then, over the years, it was the outskirts of the rest of San Francisco.
The rest of the city said, Potrero Hill? Where's that?
Let's see, what street is that?
Vermont Street.
Peter Linenthal and Abigail Johnston are the Potrero Hill Archives Project. It started in the mid-'80s to collect and preserve the history of the neighborhood.
Industry that wasn't desirable for the rest of the city, like gunpowder plants, butcher shops that smelled really bad, moved into this area.
The area evolved into a prime industrial neighborhood, home to shipyards and heavy industry. Workers built homes on the steep streets nearby. Highways 101 and 280, built in the 1950s and 60s, create man-made barriers that pinch the hill off from the rest of the city.
Our mission, I think, is to preserve the oldest history of the Hill, the memories of the people who've lived here the longest.
The project collects pictures, home movies, and videotapes interviews with old-timers in the neighborhood.
People ask me, say, are you still on Potrero Hill? I said, I'll be on Potrero Hill until they carry me out feet first.
The Potrero Hill Archive Project has amassed quite a collection documenting the neighborhood's evolution.
They leave a legacy of many different people from all sorts of backgrounds living and working together in a rather small neighborhood and creating a real community.
Everything that we find, interviews, old photos, builds a richer history of our neighborhood and preserves that history, and people that are new to the neighborhood can find out about the neighborhood.
The collection is the envy of the local library, which displays highlights of the project.
It's incredibly important to researchers who want to write about and learn about San Francisco history, Potrero Hill specifically.
Community leaders praise the archives as a link to the past.
This particular neighborhood has a very, very strong identity and sense of community, and for them to go back and show the whole history, the type of people that lived here, the type of buildings that we had here, it makes a very strong connection for many people here.
That's a connection that Peter Linenthal says anyone can have to their own neighborhood.
It's really simple, and they should start right away because the history is changing all the time. It's surprising that we know so little about our own neighborhoods, and there's so much to find out. It's right next door, it's right in front of you, wherever you live.
And so tonight we salute the Potrero Hill Archives Project for preserving the past for future generations. By the way, we found out about this story at a recent ABC 7 Listens meeting. Our next one is on Thursday in San Bruno at the Recreation